10 years ago, I have a friend. She's a manager. She manages artists. And, you know, she doesn't take a lot of artists. She really takes only some artists. She only, like, a lot of people want to work with her, but she's like, you know what? I only work with the best artists and the artists that I feel like I can do something with them. So it's not a question of I'm going to work with anybody and take any money. Is I want to create something meaningful with an artist, and I want to work on the long term with that person. So after a certain time, she decides to take a new artist. She asked me my opinion. I tell her, that artist, she's a little controversial, lots of problems around her, but in terms of making money, she's popular. But in terms of being somebody that you can do a long-term business relationship with and build something meaningful for the future with, I don't believe that person is somebody that fits with your work ethics. But I've worked with you for years. I know that I learned a lot with you, and we learned a lot together. You learned a lot from me. So maybe the 10 years of experience that we have together might benefit this person. But be careful. The Zouk industry is full of snakes. It's full of artists that change their vest every week, and they want something, then they want something else. So in my opinion, if I were you, I would be careful. But, up to you. So she tells me, thank you for giving me your opinion. And, she's like, I'll tell you what I'm going to do in a week. So after probably asking opinion from other people, etc., she decides to work with that girl. And very popular girl at that time. And they decide to do a tour in the West Indies. So you have to understand that at that era, in that time, it was really like the beginning of the end of Zouk music as a huge industry. Like at that time, there was a lot of money going in music, in Zouk music, and in the West Indies in terms of show. There was a lot of tours, etc., etc. But everybody had a very, very. It was dark times at that time. Like a lot of, you know what? Hey Nadia, make sure everybody put their likes, Nadia. So it was a time where I was really feeling that this industry was not going in the right place, and that most people were, everybody was trying to survive, and everybody was ready for anything so that they could do shows, and everybody was accepting everything and anything. And I believe that was to the detriment of the value of the Zouk music industry as a whole. But that was just my opinion. Everybody else seemed to be happy with this, and it really seemed like a crap barrel. And for me, I was like, hey, I don't believe this is a great marketplace for artists to build careers, because it seems like everybody wants to be in the West Indies all the time. Nobody wants to leave their place. Everybody's scared to not be there. Everybody believes that if they're not there, they're going to lose something, and this create a marketplace where, because the promoters know that you want to be there and you are ready to accept anything to be there, and you are there all the time, your price falls because the market doesn't need you. You need the market. The fans, they see you 10 times, 30 times a year. So they don't yearn for you. They don't feel like they miss you. And the promoters, they're like, hey, if you don't come, I can have that one, and I can have that one, and I can have that one. And those ones are singing for free. Those ones are singing for 300 euros. Those ones are singing for 500 euros, blah, 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 blah. And it devalues the market of everybody. And when you have an amazing band like Karimi coming from Miami to perform on one show, they're going to pay them 10K. But you come from Paris, but because you are all there fighting to be there, and they know it, and you are ready to kill each other so you can perform, then people will pay you 300 to all sing, all 10 of you, on plateaus in every small city around the islands. And it creates a market where everybody's there, everybody's always there, and everybody's doing everything to never not be there. And they are ready to sing for free or for very little money, as long as they are here. So this was creating a marketplace where, because everybody was working with the same management, because everybody was working with the same management company, more or less, everybody was actually in competition with one another. But there was a big conflict of interest, because the same person that was supposed to be fighting for your best interest was also working for your direct competition, which was every girl that was doing the same thing as you. So if they could not convince you to do a show for 300 because you wanted 1,000, they would tell you, okay, if you don't do it, that girl that you hate, she will do it. Or that girl that wants to take your place, she will do it. And that's how a lot of artists ended up being frustrated and being in a marketplace where it was not possible to build something. And artists like me and my management, we were on a completely different strategy. For us, it was not be in the West Indies at all costs. It was be in the West Indies if we get paid our price. All we understand is the holidays, there's a lot of competition. Okay, listen, we can remove a little bit from our price, but we will not go under 1,000. But we're trying to get to 1,005, 2,000, whatever. But we will not go and sing for free or for promo or whatever. We're not into that. And the thing that I built was a network of promoters and bookers all around the world. So I could do shows in the US, I could do shows in the West Indies, I could do shows in South America, I could do shows in Africa, I could do shows in Belgium, I could do shows in Portugal, I could do shows in Switzerland, I could do shows in so many different places that I was not feeling the pressure to be in the West Indies, because I could be anywhere else. I could be in Angola one summer, Mozambique another summer, Atlanta another summer, Lisbon, Cape Verde. My market has always been so big that I was not in this place where a lot of these artists were stuck, forced to be performing in places that maybe they didn't want to be, but they had no choice. So at a point, I end up with how you call this? Sorry, I'm just making sure that everything is fine for everybody. Yeah. If everything is fine, put a unicorn in the chat. So this was the marketplace at that time. And the marketplace was a nightmare. Actually, 2007 was the last time I did a show in Martinique, Guadeloupe, Guyane. That was the last time. Because the market was just not interesting. It's not that there was no fans. It was just like everybody fucked the market. Everybody was just wanting to be there too much. And everybody was not trying to leave some space for the newcomers. Everybody was trying to just stay there. So it became a game of musical chairs. And everybody was trying to have their own little crew and try to reign over the place on top of everybody else. And we're talking about small markets. So me, I was like, you know what? The world is huge. Let me go explore the world. Let me go to East Europe. Let me go to West Europe. Let me go on the north. Let me go on the south. Let me go to Africa. I have so many countries, so many styles. I sing in many languages and mainly 3 different languages. So I have different shows and different songs that are working in so many places. Me, I'm fine. And I was actually telling most of the artists that were working with me, you should actually go and do the same strategy, which is work from and expand your market. MJ, what up? So when that girl came into our crew, my manager told her, listen, this is how we work. And this is all the stuff that you've been doing. This is not how I work. And we're going to do a tour in the West Indies. But instead of doing, so listen, fake numbers as always. Instead of doing 30 or 45 shows in the whole summer and perform half of them for free and the other half for 300. What up, Gooby man? So, 3 unicorns, nice. So, she said, instead of doing all these shows for free, for promo, when you don't really need it, and doing a lot of shows that are badly paid, I'm gonna make sure that you do only 5 shows. But at the end of the 5 shows, you leave the West Indies with 15K. And you're gonna just stay there for 1 month. And after that month, you can go on a holiday in Santo Domingo or in Miami or New York or wherever you want. But you're gonna make enough money that, listen, either you pay your rent, you do this, but you're gonna be cool for at least X amount of time. And so she was super excited. She was completely happy to work with professionals, with people who are not treating you like a slave and not being there like Kulele with every other artist. She was like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm now working with the pros. I'm so happy to be in this team, bladi or blada. And to me, it was cool. What up, Malcolm Beats? To me, I was like, well, listen, let's see how it goes. So that girl had her main competition was another girl who was super successful. She was actually the #1 artist at that time, and that girl was the #2 artist, or #2, #3. And so the summer where everybody's performing in the West Indies usually is June, July, August. That's really when you can do all your shows out there. And usually what you do a lot of shows out there, and then everybody that's on holiday see you all the time. It makes your song become famous, and once your song become popular, people come back from holidays and it makes your song become popular in Paris. So that was how it worked at that time. And then once the song become popular in Paris, you start performing all around the clubs in Paris. Then you start performing in all the clubs around France. And by the time December comes, you go back to the West Indies, and now your song is a hit. So now you get invited to perform here and there. And that's how you make money little by little. But our strategy was different. We're gonna bet on rarity, and we're gonna make you, instead of doing 40 shows to be everywhere, we're gonna make a show. We're gonna make 5 shows, and we're gonna get paid much better for your 5 shows. And after that, you're done. You can go, and you will actually have made way more money than everybody, because everybody is doing shows, a lot of free shows, plus a few shows for 3,000, for 300, 250, 100, whatever, just to be there, just to exist. But at the end of the summer, most of the people were coming back. Maybe they made 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. And most of them, they were just performing to have maybe, we're doing those shows at the hotel to get free rooms for a month. We're doing these ones at the radio to get some promo. We're doing these ones to get this, and then we're gonna get paid here, but they're not, etc. So they were like, everybody was scrapping for stuff, and everybody was profiting from the fact that everybody wanting to be there so much that they were accepting anything. So me, I remember, like, I did one summer, and I was like, all right, this market is over for me, because I'm not interested in that. I'll be back maybe 10 years, 20 years, who knows. But most of the other people, they had no choice. That was the only market they had, and they were not doing the music to expand their markets to other places. So what we proposed to her was to just professionalize her stuff. And we also told her, instead of performing for cash, we're gonna perform and work with people that work in government agencies, and everything you're gonna perform is gonna be declared, which means you're gonna have to pay taxes on those shows, but government will also pay you in 6 months when you're gonna say, okay, I'm not doing anything now, because it's the period where, and you did a certain number of hours, then you get paid the amount of money that you made. The government pays you as unemployment because you are employed as a performer. But if you just get paid in cash, like a lot of people do in these industries, whenever you're not working, or if there's COVID, for example, like during the pandemic, you don't exist for the government. You don't have any help for you. Whereas when you work in the legit way, like we do, even if a part of your cachet goes straight to pay your taxes, you exist as numbers, as in the employment system. So when you don't work and you say, listen, I did X amount of hours, so I think it was 600 hours of performing, you can declare them all, etc., etc. Once you're done, you can come and say, hey, I'm not working for the next, I don't know, 6 months, for example. and they will pay you the same amount that you created. Let's say you made 50,000 that you declared. They will pay you for the next 6 months that you're not working. They will pay you 50,000. So we explained to her all these situations, all the way that you can use the system to really be in legality and etc. and make more money, etc. Whatever. And yeah, she was pretty excited. Until she started talking to all the idiots, which is all the artists, all the people who call themselves managers, and yeah, the friends that give their opinions. All these people, they all arrive and they said, you know, do you know that this girl is performing more than you? Do you know that oh my God, this girl is here, and here. We see them everywhere. We don't see you. Blah, 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 blah. And instead of explaining to people, yes, I'm going to do 5 shows only this summer, she started feeling anxious. And she started listening to what everybody was saying, which was a big problem with all these artists. They love to listen to the chatter instead of staying focused. And everybody was telling her, hey, you know, everybody was telling her, you know, this one is performing, that one is performing. Oh my God, this one already did 15 shows. This one performed here, and here. How come we don't see you? And you know, the fans are also there talking, saying, yeah, we don't understand. We don't see you. What's going on? You know, oh, we're going to this place. Oh, too bad you were not there, but this one was there. And oh my God, the number one artist is distancing you because, you know, if we don't see you, you're always going to be number 2 or number 3. The other 2, they're there, they're rocking. So she came to us and she started complaining. Yeah, I'm not performing. Everybody's doing shows and everybody's blah, 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 blah. What about me? People, they need to see me. Bloody, oh, blada. And we replied to her, well, people don't see you, and it's good, because if people don't see you, they're gonna miss you. If people miss you, they're gonna ask for you. And if they ask for you in the different places, the places will pay to have you. And when people tell you, when the fans tell you, hey, how come you're not here or there? You send them the link to your 5 shows that you're going to do in August. And because we are insiders, because we understand the game and we know all the promoters, we knew exactly how much the 2 girls that were on the top of the market were getting for all the shows they were doing. We knew exactly all the free shows they were doing in exchange of promotional radio. We knew exactly all the free shows they were doing in exchange of free hotel rooms. And we know the shows that they were being paid and how much people were paying them. And we told her, listen, yes, those 2 already did a cumulative 20 shows, but they maybe made 1,000 euros out of all that. So you stay put and you wait, because in September, you will have 15K and you can go on holiday where you want. So people are talking. That's what people will do. What you should do is stay focused and just prepare your show, because instead of doing a lot of open playbacks and shows with DJs in clubs, you're going to have 5 live shows with bands in prestigious places, and they're going to pay you good. And we thought it was okay. We thought that it was enough for her to understand because we explained to her the business, but it's something that what I was telling my manager, her manager. I was like, those people, they only understand emotion. They don't understand business. And even if you understand them business and explain them the business, they still will find a way to destroy the business. I'm telling you, I've been there. I know how they go. This is how they go. They arrive out of nowhere, and somebody comes out of nowhere, a friend that doesn't know nothing about the business but wants to have conversations about the business, or a family member, an aunt or their moms or their dad or their uncle or their sister that arrive out of nowhere and says, hey, how come she's not performing? The other two are taking the lead. What the hell? And you like, and they come and they talk in their ears, and then it disconcentrate the people. And the worst enemy of those people is their competition. The other girls who are trying to take your place, or the other guys who are trying to take your place, who come and say, hey, how come we don't see you? Oh my God, da, 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 da. And then you go on social media. So at that time it was Facebook. You go on Facebook and you see the other artists on the jet skis there while you're in Paris waiting. And Boa noite, Maria. And she got played by her own emotions, as they all do. And behind the back of her manager, she talked with a few promoters who had some few shows for her that were paid. Not that much, but at least she could be on the terrain. She could be there, showing that she's there. And she did a few shows behind the back of her manager. Her manager discovered that she was performing when one of the person that she sold a show to and said, hey, listen, she's not going to do any shows because of you. She's not going to do any show before your show. So we're going to build up the demand with the promo, the new videos, etc., etc. And when everybody is like asking, but where is she? She's going to come to your club. And you're going to destroy everything. You're going to make way more money than all these people who are coming every day. And that person called and said, what the hell is going on? Why is this person performing? Look at the flyers. Like, our contract is void. And her manager was like, what? And then she saw photos of this new artist that she worked with performing for free. Because she really felt like, I need to be in the West Indies, because if I don't go, my career is over. People will forget me. And that's how they stopped working together.